How you doing? What's going on? My name is Clement, and welcome to the 30-minute segment. Today we have the doctor, Dr. Jon, with us. And you want to give yourself a little intro?
Hey, what's up, everybody? He calls me the doctor. I'm actually a doctor candidate, finishing up a PhD in developmental neuropsych, and I'm really interested to know about this 30-minute segment.
Yeah.
This is new that you put together. So,
Yeah, no, it's a small little chat that if I find that I've had some kind of interesting conversation with someone, we'll have a half-hour chat about it. So, this secret society, all right, that you talked to me about,
mm-hmm.
of parents helping kids,
ah,
the Facebook group. So,
so
is it a secret, or can we actually talk about it?
I mean, it's not really a secret. It's just something that it's a Facebook group. Men, the fathers and the mothers are getting together. Like the parents are teamed up on this because you've heard of arranged marriages, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So this is not that, but it could possibly lead to a marriage down the line.
Okay.
And what I mean is the parents are more involved in their child's relationships. We're not calling it puppy love anymore because some of the purest forms of love is that of a child between another child, because a child is non-judgmental. Think about it.
Yeah.
A child, they right, like they don't hold certain things against you. They will excuse things away. Oh, that was you last year. You're not like that this year.
Yeah.
Changed. Like they just don't know yet. Okay, so they don't have all that trauma.
Yeah.
Correct. Okay, so somebody's right and somebody's wrong. So is the child right, or is the adult wrong for pushing their false thoughts off on the child?
What do you mean by false thoughts?
All that toxicity. Oh, you don't want to do this because to do that. You don't want to do this because like you know they're gonna leave you eventually. You don't know that. I've met about 25 couples that met when they were 13, and they've been married for 70 years, 60 something years, 58 years, 47 years. They only been with that person.
That's pretty impressive for that long of time. Well, I mean, that's
for what?
I don't even want to say it's impressive because it should be the common.
Like that's the way it was intended.
Yeah.
I mean, but they became. What happens is the friendship strengthens as you go through your developmental processes, and you just get to a point to where you only feel comfortable with this man or you only feel comfortable with this woman, and y'all grow together. Like you might get a shy person that's shy around everybody else, but they talk like hell when they with a person.
Yeah, that's true.
They talk a lot. They're not shy. They just talk, or if that person is with them, they will talk.
So let me ask you, was this a group that was already pre-made that you joined into, or was this a collective of people that all came together and said, hey, listen, why don't we try to make this happen?
Okay, so I brought this up. It was my idea.
Okay.
I'm the one who put this idea out there.
Orchestrated that. You're the mastermind behind this.
Okay. I'm the mastermind behind this because I'm curious. And we got some dads and moms because it would only work this the way is. So going back to your first question, right? The purpose of this, the kids are not going to have choices. See, typically the narrative is, oh, it's just puppy love. You've got your whole life ahead of you. Yeah. You're going to meet the perfect guy and the perfect girl and blah, blah, blah. That's bullshit.
Yeah. Enjoy your time now. Play around, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, test the water.
And that's bullshit. That's complete cap.
Yes.
No, you're not. You're going to meet a bunch of toxic motherfuckers along the way. You're going to think you're in love. You're going to get half your money took. And you're going to end up pulling back on a high school sweetheart. So let's focus on that. You're going to end up pulling back on someone in high school. Why? Because you're going to get that damn hand burnt so many times that you're going to want somebody that you had a base foundation of how they fucking were when you knew them in school. But the problem with that is this: people are not the same when they were in high school. They have changed. They've been traumatized. They've been through some things. So why don't we just avoid all that and stop trying to coach children to go their separate ways when they're in high school, once they get to college, and focus on someone, meeting someone new and meeting new people and doing new things? Why don't you focus on who you already know? You've known this person your entire life.
Yeah.
And well, how do they do that? Because they're in the same developmental stage. The parents have to get involved.
Yes.
So the parents get involved and they nurture on their end, and I nurture on my end. So my boy is actually in a relationship like this. And so far it's working great. The parents are aware of it. The kids like each other.
Yeah.
We're having movie night Saturday to where we're going to put a video. We're doing a video because here it is. What it is like-minded parents with how the child is being raised is dating like-minded boys.
So now this is something that's unheard of. So like we've heard of dating sites, dating apps, but never Facebook groups where the parents put the kids together, matchmaking for their children.
Well, I mean,
but, what the goal is marriage as opposed to just hookup like Tinder or anything like that.
Right, because they're too young for all that, and we're not encouraging sexual activity. And with the parents being so involved in a positive way in the relationship, the children are less likely to think about sex. Because see, at the end of the day, you can say what you want to say. Well, when a boy turns 13 years old, he gonna be wanting to fuck. Well, that's someone who has no understanding of psychology or developmental. You can't want what you've never fucking had. How you gonna have a craving for chocolate ice cream and you never fucking had chocolate ice cream?
That's true.
You're not gonna have a craving for chocolate ice cream because you've never fucking had chocolate ice cream. Probably saw it in pictures. Probably were curious about it. Now, will you be curious about it? Sure. But I was a virgin until I was damn 20 years old. And I didn't miss shit. I ain't have no urges. I was curious, but I was scary. So I didn't want to be with a girl like that until I was older. Now I made up for lost time after I turned 20. That's a fact. Once I got the cherry pop, it was on and fucking popping, boy.
You enjoyed yourself. So so how many parents would you say are in this group?
Shit, about 30, 40.
So 30 parents, all with children they're trying
but
to.
Only 15 are actually participating in the idea. 15 groups. They're husband and wife.
Huh. What? So
I understand. So
the other 15, I guess, is a test subject then.
We're testing it out. Yeah. It don't. I mean, with the push for this stupidity of this, you can identify as a boy, and then therefore you are a boy, and if you identify as a girl, therefore you are a girl. It's nonsense, and the fucking government is buying into it. They actually have slots for non-binary, blah blah blah, female, male. This is too much, and then you got a ramp up of homosexual activity. No science backs any of this shit, but the government treats it like it is scientific evidence, of course, especially since you have the Joe Biden administration in there, and the person who resides over health is a transvestite themselves. So there you go.
That's just weird to me. What's weird, Andrew?
Yeah, what's weird, Andrew?
Please clarify, if you could, please. But no, this is definitely it makes sense, just because one, dating for teenagers already is dead.
Is yeah, and it's
It's
awkward.
non-existent. It's not. It's awkward. It's dead. It's it's a mess. It's a complete mess
It's a complete
because
mess.
gender roles have completely been stripped out of everything in this
Exactly.
society.
And we're
So
bringing that shit back. The boys are being coached by dad on how to behave around the girl. The girls are being coached by mom on how to behave around a boy. Um, they are, there's an open door for them to ask questions. When they have a certain scenario that has occurred with the little boy, then they go to the mom and the dad, and then the dad goes to the dad of the little boy, and you see what's going on, and we all just talk about it.
so can I ask something?
Yeah.
So I guess is there something that you won't anticipate happening during this test?
What do you mean?
Meaning, obviously, this is a test,
Yeah, it's a
right?
test. Yep.
This is still a test. It's still in its testing phase. Sounds good. I mean, the hypothesis and everything looks good. Hold on. Let's see. Andrew said it leads to helicopter parents. Teach your children well and let them make their own choices.
Children are not going to make good choices no matter how well you teach them. Children are going to make good going to make choices based on their environmental pressures. That's not how it works. A parent has to be completely involved in the child's development, period. What are you going to teach them? You can teach a child not to have sex until they get married. Who listens? 90% of children have sex before. 98% of people have sex before they get married.
Yeah, that's a whole fact.
98%. Not 50, not 60, 98%. And they all got told the same shit. Nobody encouraged them to have sex.
And so I guess to add to that a little bit, the Middle Easterns probably are the biggest race that helicopter parent like crazy, and most of their children are waiting until marriage.
Most of their children not only wait till marriage, most of their children turn out successful.
Yeah.
Because they follow strict guidelines that the parents set, because the parents guide their entire life all the way up until they're like 28. They guide their whole life. When is the last time you went to and saw that there was a damn Indian on the jails, a person from India that has been jailed? I'll wait on that answer. When is the last, how many do you know that are in any prisons, federal or state, in the United States, period? Like any. Name some that have to receive assistance, even though they're citizens here. I'll wait on that answer. They have the best jobs. Most of them are either doctors or engineers. They make on average, if you just polled the Indian, when I say Indian, I don't mean Native American, I mean Indian from India.
Yeah.
Population, their average income is over $100,000 across the board.
I believe that.
Period.
It's pretty interesting because I mean, even like for myself when I'm working, a lot of the times when I go into Asian homes, Indian homes, even from a 1-bedroom all the way up to mansions, it's all of them living into that one space, all of them confined in that one space. So the parents are there with the children, even when they're 18, even when they're 21, even when they're 25. So the idea of helicopter parenting, I don't think they see it as helicopter parenting. I think they see it as trying to guide their kids to the best possible outcome.
I mean, first of all, let's gather some terms that are real, and let's not create any. There's only 4 types of parenting styles. There's no such thing as helicopter parenting anyway.
Okay.
There's the authoritarian, there's the passive parent, there's the neglectful parent, and then there's the authoritative style. Okay, so the passive according to research, a passive parent, that's the parent who lets their child just go and make their own decisions and do it as they will. Those children normally end up on drugs and they drop out of school. The neglectful parent, same thing, drugs, the juvenile delinquency. The authoritarian, those children end up with anxiety and depression. Because they have so much stress under them to please the parent, because that parent will only love them if you follow my rules. If you don't follow my rules, I will put you out the house, and they do mean it. That's authoritarian. The most successful parenting style, according to research, is the authoritative, to where you have rules and guidelines, and there's love given there. It's where you talk to the child, you spank the child, you discipline the child, you spank between the ages that you spank. You know, anything over 13, you don't need to be spanking. You need to come up with a different way of discipline. But all the way up until that age, I believe in corporal punishment. Corporal punishment is very effective, especially according to the law of effect by Thorndike, to where a negative action, when met with a negative consequence, will less likely be committed again. A negative action, when met with a positive consequence, will most likely be repeated.
Yeah.
Meaning, so if you
rewarded them,
right, you cussing the child, you cussing a parent out or whatever. And I use that example because most parents who don't spank the child will eventually cuss them out at some age when they start talking really well. They'll cuss at them and stuff like that because they know there is no real consequence. They've never been hit in their life. So they go, well, you just go sit in a timeout, Missy. What did that do?
Yeah.
You pause the action and they cussing you out the whole time they're in timeout. Where's the punishment? Where's the, I don't get it. Like, and you can't get on your Nintendo for 2 hours or your PlayStation. I'm gonna get on my, I will get on it. I'll call the police. You gonna get, yes, I will get on it. That's what you deal with. Because now if you whoop that ass, they'll be crying. There'll be some fear there, and fear is good. Healthy fear is good. Stop thinking, oh, I want my child afraid of me. Yes, the hell you do. Yes, you do. Why would you not? Fear moves you. Fear motivates you. You don't want a child that doesn't fear you. How are you going to get them to listen to you when you're not around? They need to fear that there is a consequence for their behavior. That's a different type of fear than a fear of abuse. But anyway, that's a whole nother subject. But then go ahead, Clement.
No, that's good. That's good. I guess that now the long term, what's the big picture for this Facebook group?
The big picture, for right now, we just share parenting techniques.
Okay.
It was I introduced this there because you have a lot of garbage that's being spat out, and these younger children are absorbing that, which is affecting their mindset. Yeah. So by the time they're in their 20s, you can tell your child, yeah, you just go make your choices. Well, that's when you end up with a fucking son who's dating a tranny because it's cool to date trannies, and he has no moral foundation and has strayed away from it because the pressures of everybody around them has changed his mindset that you gave him. See, what parents don't understand is after they're 12, you're no longer the biggest motivator in their life. Research has shown that. Children are more motivated by other children. They're not motivated by you.
They're friends.
They're friends.
Their peers, yeah.
They want to be accepted. They don't care what you think. You're their mama. They understand by this point that you're going to love them no matter what, right?
Yeah.
But they don't care if you love them. They want this people to love them, this group, the people they see every day. Look, how many times have you, when you were growing up, right? You had one kid didn't like to clean his room, and his mom would tell him all day, Junior, clean your room. But if his friend come over and say, you're a slob, that damn room will get cleaned up immediately.
Very quickly.
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
Because he cares about that opinion.
Right. The fear driving that opinion, the fear centered around him not being accepted and possibly being castigated at school is too great. It's too great. So if you know that, then what do you think is going to happen when a majority starts buying into this nonsense? Then what? You think your child's going to have a good wife to choose from? No. Them damn girls are getting taught not to be anything that you think a wife should be.
That's the scary part.
Yeah, it's a scary part. I have a very specific purpose. We are equal as humans. We have equal human rights. But when it comes down to that house, baby, we're not equal. Because I'm going to do things that you cannot do. Period. And you're going to do things that I can do that I absolutely positively don't want to do. You're going to have patience. You're going to be able to deal with our children better. I'm going to be able to protect you better. I'm going to earn more money regardless of what laws are passed. I'm going to always, a man is going to make more money than a woman no matter what. As long as there's an hourly rate, men are going to make more money than women. If you're getting paid by the hour, men are going to make more money than women. Always.
Hours.
But we will work longer. A woman is not willing to do that. Research. They've done it. They've done the research. Paid the women the same as the men, but they had a caveat in there to test the hypothesis. They would pay them double time and a half for overtime. Only 12% of the women agreed to work that overtime.
Wow.
Or you could have 4 days with regular pay off. 80-something% of the women chose the 4 days with the regular pay off.
Wow.
They're not built to work like that. That's not in their DNA. They don't care to work like that.
Andrew says, Andrew, thank you again for joining us here for this chat. Really appreciate you being here. I have 3 children, 2 19-year-olds leading military lives and the youngest going to college, all very successful and launched. I must have done something correctly. Wow, what a Neanderthal.
Was he referring to himself? Because white people are more consistent with Neanderthals than blacks. He must have been referring to himself. I don't know why he would call himself a Neanderthal, though. It didn't make sense. You may have done something right.
Listen, congrats to you. Kudos to you for it's not a easy climate for kids to have a steady path. So it's a good thing that both of the ones going into the military, very good. The one going to college right now,
I think he said both of them are going to college right now. But what he doesn't understand,
you have three children.
His climate, his children are not going to be in the children of the future. His children in 10 years are going to be fucking 29 years old. And they weren't exposed to the same rhetoric that's being taught now. They weren't exposed to that. I mean, his children 10 years ago were 9 years old.
10 years ago,
that was 10 fucking years ago, and we didn't have these conversations 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But now, yeah, we weren't talking about this nonsense. This I can be a boy if I want to, or a girl if I want to, or a boy can go into the girls' locker room if he just says he's a damn girl. And then you've got sexual assault coming out of this shit because these boys are gaming the system. Oh, I identify as a girl. Yeah, I want my rights. But they don't. The essence of a boy cannot be changed. That essence is there. There's only a couple of cases. Hermaphrodites, which have no sex.
That's what I'm saying. That's crazy. Like, I'm assuming that you agree.
I don't know. He lost me.
Yeah.
I'm lost. If, but at any rate, if the I completely lost my train of thought.
Oh, I guess about the bathrooms and everything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a crazy world.
Yeah, it's crazy as hell. Look
But that's
at
why, again,
that
that's why
swimmer got banned.
Leah
That
Thomas.
swimmer can't swim anymore.
Leah Thomas.
Yep. He
Yeah.
walking around with a hard on in the fucking females' locker room. The essence of a man. But I thought you felt like you was a woman. Because if you felt like a woman, you'd have made sure that motherfucker was at ease before you come walking out there. Peacocking. Because a woman would understand how offensive it may be to other women. Correct me if I'm wrong. You don't have a woman's essence.
True.
But the law is allowing you to do this shit. So yeah, a small group of parents are nurturing out whoever they choose. If this is who they choose, and we're like-minded thinkers. So like, for instance, my son's the girl who my son likes the girl. She likes my son. She's always liked my son. They naturally were attracted to each other, but they just didn't know about each other. Just so happened her parents are in the group, right?
Okay.
And they thought it was nice because they didn't want their child growing up eventually having to go through person after person after person after person.
Like the regular dating market.
Like the regular dating market, because dating is toxic right now, even for adults, right?
Yeah, no, it's bad.
So it was like, well, how can we make it work? Easy. They like each other. Just help them through it. Because typically what you get the natural liking, right? But then you have the parents, oh, you'll meet, don't worry about that old boy. You'll meet plenty of boys. That's normally the narrative. Well, all I'm saying is stop teaching that narrative. If your child likes this little boy, help them with the relationship. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Help them with the relationship.
Help them to understand when
more
they
involved.
need to.
Exactly. Help them. Don't, instead of being the person who's throwing the wrench in there because you really don't want them focused on the truth of the matter is, whether you want them focused on it or not, they're gonna be focused on it.
So might as well help them with it.
Yeah, you might as well help them with it. Now, you're gonna be, as let's say, when they 13, we don't allow all that dating. Like, you're not going anywhere with them. Y'all can video chat, you can do homework together. That's the extent of it. You see each other at school, that's the extent of it. I can't stop that. But all that going out, that's not happening. You're not old enough to date, not responsible enough. 16 is a dating age. Now, if y'all are still a couple at 16, she's known this boy now for how many years? 3? I've known this boy for how many years? Well, it's my son. But I've known this girl for how many years? 3? Her dad's known my son and been involved with him. We've probably done some joint vacations together. There's nothing fucking wrong with this. There's nothing weird about it. A lot of other families have done similar things, but it wasn't like organized. It wasn't nothing that was thought about. I know plenty of parents that have invited 14-year-olds to go on a damn trip with their daughter. Plenty. Yep. Plenty. And they didn't even go. They just sent they sent the son. And the parents took, was like, okay, because it's their daughter, so you ain't got to worry about him getting to her, because they ain't going to, nah, honey, she's be in the bed with us. She's sleeping in our suite, but we're going to get him his own room.
Yeah.
It'll be adjoined to ours.
Yeah.
And we're taking no-dos all night. We're not going to bed. We're going to be up in shifts. Mama asleep, then I'll sleep.
Making sure, all right? Taking around.
Make sure ain't nobody pregnant when we wake up.
No, that's good. That's amazing. And that's why I really wanted to talk about it. But that is our half hour, my friend.
I know it.
So tell the people where they could find you, even if you want to plug in the Facebook group in case any other parents watching are interested. Plug in the Facebook group, plug in where they could find you, and then we'll call it a night.
All right, so you can plug into single parents, not single parents, but Black Fathers. Black Fathers is a group. And then you can find me at behavioral_consultant on IG. My Facebook page got hacked, my other one, and I had to rebuild a Facebook page.
Dang.
See, you and I aren't friends on Facebook, so you didn't see that. But yeah, I had to rebuild the whole Facebook page.
Thank you for joining us, Andrew. It was a pleasure, my man. We'll be having more of these little half-hour segments with different conversations, but this was definitely a good one, a very interesting one. Just because I've never even heard about something like it, so we have to talk about it, you know.
All right.
But other than that, the show is all done, and we'll talk in the back room. But but for anyone watching, thank you for watching, and you have a good night. Bye.